दिले मुस्तफा पे दिले मुस्तफा, रात भर चैन की नींद सोता रहा। टोला अहले शहर खौफ से चीख उठा, सुबह उठकर जो है दर्द माबूद से तोड़ने बुध कदा, जब चले सूए काबा भी बेखुदा। आगे पीछे सभी थे मगर ये बता, दोषे अहमद पर मेराज किसको मिली। दो जहां में नहीं कोई ऐसा जरी, मौत ने जिसके आगे से पर डाल दी। थे जवा देखने के लिए तो सभी, लापता की सनद जिसको हक से मिली। ताजदारे और मोहम्मद
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवार मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद।
जज़ाकल्लाह, बेहतरीन कलाम पढ़ा तमाम भाइयों ने। मौला खुदा ने सिवाय मोहम्मद और आले मोहम्मद के, और हक भी बनता है कि खराज अकीदत पेश करने के लिए तशरीफ़ ला चुके हैं जनाब नक़वी साहब। आवाज़ से आप तमाम मोमिनीन को और मोमिनात को आमादा करूँगा कि यूं हम चेहरे हैदर की तरफ देखते हैं, यूं हम साक़ी कौसर की तरफ देखते हैं कि जैसे प्यासे समंदर की तरफ देखते हैं। जुल्फ़िकार काज़मी साहब ने शेर पढ़ा था, उनकी तरह तो नहीं पढ़ सकता हूँ, मगर कोशिश करता हूँ कि यूं हम साक़ी कौसर की तरफ देखते हैं कि जैसे प्यासे समंदर की तरफ देखते हैं। ए मौत जरा रुक जा, ज़ियारत का मजा लेने दे। यूं हम साक़ी कौसर की तरफ देखते हैं। हक भी ये बनता है, ये ऐसी सुनना चाहिए कि यूं हम साक़ी कौसर की तरफ देखते हैं जैसे प्यासे समंदर की तरफ देखते हैं। ए मौत जरा रुक जा, ज़ियारत का मजा लेने दे, अभी हम चेहरा हैदर की तरफ देखते हैं। जरा रुक जा, ज़ियारत का मजा लेने दे। बस मजलिस का माहौल बनाने के लिए, और जो पीछे बैठे वो आगे आ जाएं ताकि बाद में आने वालों को तकलीफ ना हो। कि यूं हम साक़ी कौसर की तरफ देखते हैं कि जैसे प्यासे समंदर की तरफ देखते हैं। ए मौत जरा रुक जा, ज़ियारत का मजा लेने दे, अभी हम चेहरा हैदर की तरफ देखते हैं। और हौसला मुश्किल में अपना बढ़ाने के लिए सब अंबिया अली असगर की तरफ देखते हैं। देखते हैं कि जैसे प्यासे समंदर की तरफ देखते हैं। मौत जरा रुक जा, ज़ियारत का मजा लेने दे, अभी हम चेहरा हैदर की तरफ देखते हैं। हौसला अपना मुश्किल में बढ़ाने के लिए सब अंबिया अली असगर की तरफ देखते हैं और यूं समझ जाता है मालिक का इशारा मालिक, यूं समझ जाता है मालिक का इशारा मालिक, बस अली मालिक के अस्तर की तरफ देखता है, यूं समझ जाता है मालिक का इशारा मालिक, जब अली मालिक के अस्तर की तरफ देखते हैं। और इसी के साथ मैं आवाज दूंगा रयान नकवी साहब से कि वो अपनी बेहतरीन अंदाज में हम तमाम मोमिनीन और मोमिनात को मुस्तफीद करें, ऐसे सलवात पढ़ें जैसे सलवात पढ़ने का हक है। सलवात
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात अदमल्लाहु उजूरना व उजूरकुम बिमुसाबिदीना हुसैन इब्न अली इब्न अबी तालिब व फातिमा बिन्त मुहम्मद अलैहिस्सलाम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला सय्यिदिना व हबीब क़ुलूबिना व शफ़ी नफूसिना बिल क़ासिम मुहम्मद। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहिल्लज़ी जअलना मिनल मुतमस्सिकीना बिवलायतिक मौलुल कौनैन असदुल्लाहुल खालिक अली इब्न अबी तालिब मज़हरुल अजाइब असदुल्लाह ऐनुल्लाह हुक्मुल्लाह नूरुल्लाह वजहुल्लाह सिर्रुल्लाह हैदर कर्रार मौला कौनैन बादशाह दौरैन अली इब्न अबी तालिब। فقال حسين بن علي بن أبي طالب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل من ناصر ينصرنا محمد وآل محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Lord who created the rain and created the clouds to carry this rain, and created the ocean to supply these clouds so that it could carry this rain. Praise be to Allah who in the Quran says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, Khalaqa al-Insan, Allama al-Bayan. He says that I am the one who is the most beneficent, the most merciful. I am the one who created the Quran. I am the one who created the insan and taught him how to speak. That when you speak and when I speak, it is because Allah allowed us to speak. And when you speak and I speak, it is because Allah wanted the love of Ali to flow through our tongues. That He wanted us to say Haydar, Haydar in majlises. He wanted us to say Haydar, Haydar in front of those who do not like to hear Haydar, Haydar in front of them. These are the times of tabarra. Usually, whenever we are speaking in our majalises or in our gatherings, when there's a camera in front of us, we walk upon eggshells. But when it comes to our mother of believers, there are no eggshells to walk upon. These are the times of tabarra, which is what defines us as a true Shia. The true Shia is that person who understands what tabarra is. Let me first explain what exactly happens when Allah says in Surah Rahman that I am the one who created the man to speak. I am the one who created the man and taught him how to speak. He then goes ahead and lists out all the favors that Allah has created for us. He says that you are well clothed, it is because of me. You are well fed, it is because of me. The skies are in the heavens, it is because of me. You have a ground to walk upon, because of me. The house that you stay in, because of me. The family you have, me. The family that you have, me. Hussein that you have, me. Ali that you have, me. Mehdi, me. Ali, me. Fatima, me. The Panjatan, me. He lists out all these favors, and then what what does he say? He says, which of these favors can you deny? And I ask you, which of these favors can you deny? A man who is not learned in Shia Islam might say that yes, he lists out the favors that he has granted us and says there is nothing you can deny. But us who are Shia know that the favors he is talking about are not these worldly favors. We can achieve these worldly favors whenever we want. But the Hubbi Ali, the favor that Allah granted in our hearts, is the favor that Allah is asking. Can you deny that you are a Shia of Ali or not? That you are a Shia of Ali, then why is it that you do not hate the enemies of Ali or hate the Ahlul Bayt of Ali? Of Allah that Allah has granted upon humankind, especially upon the Shias. And then when we look upon the Shias, when we look upon us, we see that there is another favor that Allah has granted. What is that favor? That favor is that we are the answer to the dua of Bibi Fatima al-Zahra. The fact that we are gathered here today, the fact that we recite a Majlis and recite Marsiya and recite Matam and do Matam for Bibi Fatima is the proof that we are the answer to the dua of Bibi Fatima. We have all heard this story many times, that when Bibi Fatima heard about the musibat that will occur upon Imam Hussein, then Bibi Fatima asked Rasulullah that, oh my father, who will mourn Hussein? Allah then tells Rasulullah, without Rasulullah having to ask Allah, the love of Hussein and the love of Allah. Look at the love of Hussein, the love of Bibi Fatima in Allah. He says, without Rasulullah having to ask Allah, he says to Rasul that, oh my Habib, tell your daughter that the woman that I will create a community, and the women of this community will mourn the women of Hussein, and the men of this community will mourn the men of Hussein, the children of this community will mourn the children of Hussein, and this whole community will have no other chant but Labbaik Ya Hussein upon their lips. Labbaik Ya Hussein upon their lips. And so Bibi Fatima saw this dua, she heard this dua, and she said that, oh Allah, thank you for this ni'mat, thank you for this gift. But I also want to propose that from a young age we have all heard that we are the answers to the dua of Bibi Fatima. But I want to say that we are also the answers of Imam Hussein when he says, Hal min Nasir yansurna. When he was all alone in the plains of Karbala, when his brother had been martyred, when his children had been martyred, when his friends had been martyred, when he was the only one standing, and he stood upon the plains of Karbala, and he said, Hal min Nasir yansurna. Allah created us, and not just this generation. Any person that says Labbaik Ya Hussein is an answer to Hal min Nasir yansurna.
Labbaik Ya Hussein!
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 Nara Hadari!
So we must understand that our birth, the birth of us as human beings, as a Shia, is the answer to the dua of Bibi Fatima. But our actions are the answer to the dua of Hazrat Hussein, of the Hal min Nasir yansurna. What we do will be the answer to Hal min Nasir yansurna. Because what do we see? We see that the call of Hal min, when Imam had given this call, was this a call of help, of actual physical help? This is an Imam we are talking about. Why exactly would Imam need the help of a normal human being when he has Allah, and when Allah has granted him the powers of the universes, not the universe, the universes, when he is the Prince of Heaven? If he is the Prince of Heaven, what does he need our meek help for? So why exactly did he say Hal min Nasir yansurna? There are many people that give many reasons. The first reason they give is that this was a call to people to tell them that I am saying Hal min Nasir yansurna because I am backing up Hayhat min Nazzallah. Let me back up real quick. The Hal min Nasir yansurna can only be answered by us if we act upon the message of Imam Hussein. And what exactly is the message of Imam Hussein? What exactly exactly is this message? Many people think that this message could be hayhat min nadzillah, which is what? Hayhat min nadzillah means that we will never give into humiliation, that we will never accept the bayat of Yazid. Hayhat min nadzillah means that Imam Hussein says this, that I am at this level and Yazid is at this level. Why would I accept humiliation by kissing his hand? I am at a different level entirely. I cannot accept humiliation. However, I must say that hayhat min nadzillah could be a message of Karbala. However, did not Imam Sajjad also practice hayhat min nadzillah? If Imam Hussein practiced hayhat min nadzillah in the plains of Karbala, then Imam Sajjad practiced hayhat min nadzillah in the Darbar Yazid. But why is it that Imam Sajjad did not say hal min nasir yansurna? Why did only Imam Hussein say hal min nasir yansurna? There's another message. Some people say that there is those who believe that the message of Karbala is truth and justice. Well, let me tell you this, that every single Imam stood for truth and justice. Why did not every single Imam say hal min nasir yansurna? What is the exact meaning behind hal min nasir yansurna? What is Imam Hussein asking from us? In order to understand this, we must understand what it means to be a true Shia. And in order to understand a true Shia, I would like to relate to you a story. Not that long ago, Maulana Ishrat Abbas came to the Abbas and he recited his beautiful majalises. My father had told me that after some time, when one of the days after he had recited his majalises, he had gone with a group of friends to see him. Maulana Ishrat Abbas had conversations with them and he gave them his part of knowledge and they gained some knowledge from him. The one thing that stood out to me the most was that Maulana Ishrat Abbas had asked my father and his group of friends that what do you think makes a Shia? What do you think makes a Shia? So then, my father and his group, they say many answers. They say, Maulana Ishrat Abbas, there are many things that make a Shia. For example, one is the love of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Another thing is the acceptance of the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Another thing is mourning Imam Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. Maulana Ishrat Abbas says that this does not define a Shia, it makes a Shia. What is the one quality that defines a Shia? Everybody does not know. They say that we do not know, Maulana. Please tell us. He says, understanding the value of tabarra makes a Shia. Why is this? Why is it not that the other three reasons make a Shia? Because the love of Imam Ali is seen in Sunnis and Shias alike. Although the Sunnis do not accept Imam Ali as an Imam, they still do love Imam Ali as their fourth Khalifa. So what is the difference between a Shia and Sunni? There is no difference in that aspect. Mourning Imam Hussein, Hindus and Christians mourn Imam Hussein. If we are Shia because we mourn Imam Hussein, then they are Shia as well. However, we are the only sect that understand what tawalla and tabarra mean. And because we understand what tawalla and tabarra means, we are able to understand the message of Imam Hussein in Karbala, which the whole message was tabarra. The whole message was tabarra. Why is it? What does tabarra mean? Tabarra means not associating yourself from the enemy of Allah and the enemy of the Ahlul Bayt. If you only do not associate yourself from the enemy of Allah, then you are only committing tabarra against atheists. But when you disassociate yourself from the enemies of Allah and the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt, you are disassociating yourself from not just atheists but zalims. And when you disassociate yourself from zalims, that is when you are accepted into the message of Imam Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. Muhammad Salawat. Some may ask that tawalla and tabarra, why is it that tawalla is not present in the message of Imam Hussein in Karbala? Tawalla was present in Karbala, but not on the day of Karbala. Tawalla was present on the night of Ashur. When we see the companions of Imam Hussein, the 72 companions, they were, number one, granted Jannah already just by following Imam Hussein into that night. Imam Hussein himself told the companions, he said that, all people, all my companions, all my friends, I have given you Jannah, you are allowed to leave. There is no reason for you to kill yourself over me. There's no reason to sacrifice yourself over me. What do they say? They say, we cannot leave you. We will not leave you. You are our master and our Aka. That is not tabarra, that is tawalla. That is tawalla. And what kept them fighting on the day of Karbala after 3 days of being hungry and thirsty was tabarra. That was tabarra that kept them fighting on the day of Karbala. When we look at tawalla and tabarra, we see in the hierarchy, or should I, instead of hierarchy, I should say the list of the furu'id-din, we see that it is on the bottom most two. The tawalla and tabarra are located on the bottom. And because it is located on the bottom, many people like to disregard this aspect of the furu'id-din. They focus on namaz, roza, hajj, zakat, khums, jihad, amr bil maruf, nahi anil munkar. But when it comes to tawalla and tabarra, they try to disregard it. Let me explain to you this. When you are building a tower out of building blocks, when you are building a tower out of building blocks and you lay a strong foundation, that tower will stand up no matter what. If you see a child playing with building blocks and you see that he has laid out 2 pillars of that foundation, of that structure that he has made, and you go and take away one of those pillars, the whole structure falls down. Furu'id-din, our furu'id-din is the structure, the building blocks of our iman. It is the building blocks of our iman, of our faith in Shiaism. If any of us take away tawalla or take away tabarra, our whole iman will fall down. There will be no iman left if we take away tawalla and tabarra, which is why I emphasize the point of tabarra, that yes, there is a way to do it and a respectful way to do it, but this does not mean that you should leave it entirely. If you, because of your shortcomings, cannot find a respectable way to do it, it is on you to find a respectable way to do tabarra and explain why you are doing tabarra and explain it eloquently. Are you not the followers of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Nahj al-Balagha? Are you not his followers? Explain it eloquently why you do tabarra. And I am sure that there will be those who will side against tabarra and who will side for tabarra. But I want to address the people who side against tabarra. There are those people who only take tawalla and live without tabarra. And I want to explain to them that if you build a structure and only have 1 pillar on the bottom, your building will still fall. Your building will still fall. You need these 2 pillars in order for your structure of iman to stand strong. And then I want to say to those people who like to take away, who like to try and stop us from doing tabarra, I want to remind them what happened to Yazid's army and what happened to Hussein's army. Because as I said, Imam Hussein's army was practicing the physical personification of tabarra on the day of Karbala. Yazid, if they are fighting, Yazid's army, if they are fighting against Imam Hussein's army, they are trying to stop the physical personification of tabarra. And let me tell you this, that whenever they tried to stop it, everybody on Imam Hussein's army would not allow it to be stopped. And not only Imam Hussein's army, but Allah himself would not allow the practice of tabarra to be stopped. What is the proof of this? Name me one person besides the commander from Yazid's army. I will name you 72 from Hussein's army. Of the 72 because their names are immortalized and not by us meekly humans, not just because we wrote it in Karbala that this is the name of this first commander, this is the name of this second commander. Allah himself has immortalized the name of the 72 because the Imam himself has said that I have never received, that my people, my companions have never been seen by Prophet Muhammad, by Imam Ali and by Imam Hussein and by Imam Hassan. If Imam Hussein, the Khalifa of Allah upon this earth, is saying it, it is as if Allah himself is saying this.
देखते हैं कि जैसे प्यासे समंदर की तरफ देखते हैं। सुनने वाला शेर है इसी बैत पे कि है मौत जरा रुक जा, ज़ियारत का मजा लेने दे। अभी हम चेहरा हैदर की तरफ देखते हैं और जब बात आती है वफादारी असहाब की, जब खुद मोहम्मद भी 72 की तरफ
And so people do try to stop us from doing tabarra. And why is it that they stop us from doing tabarra? There are 2 types of tabarra. There is one tabarra which is the la'na of those who are the enemies of Imam Ali and the Ahl al-Bayt, Prophet Muhammad and the Ahl al-Bayt. However, there is that type of tabarra which is called Fazail Ali ibn Abi Talib. And they try to stop this Fazail of Ali ibn Abi Talib. They try to stop it because they know that they have no figures within their own religion that they can recite Fazails about. So they don't want to give us a figure in our religion that we can recite Fazal is about. I challenge any of you to go to anybody from the other sect who does not like Tabarra and does not like Imam Ali. Tell them, ask them that I want you to recite the Fazal of your figure. They might give you 3 or 4 sentences. They might give you a paragraph. Forget that, they might give you a book. And then when in turn they ask me to recite the Fazal of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the only question I asked him is, how much time do you have?
जैसे प्यासे समंदर की तरफ देखते हैं, जब बात आती है वफादारी असहाब की, जब खुद मोहम्मद भी 72 की तरफ देखते हैं, जब नुसैरी मेरे मौला को खुदा कहता है, हज के सलमान अबू जर की तरफ देखते हैं।
So then in turn I asked them, you want to listen to the Fazal of Ali ibn Abi Talib? Tell me, how much time do you have? Because I swear by Allah, I swear by Allah, I swear by Allah, I swear by Allah, that when I begin the Fazal of Ali ibn Abi Talib, it will never stop, because Allah himself recites the Fazal of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Do you want to hear the Fazal of Ali ibn Abi Talib? I've written it here in this book. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ali is Sultan Alam, Sardar Adam, Noor Ilahi, Mehboob Khatim, Shah Vilayat, Jan Risalat, Mahar Imamat, Behr Saqawat, Ali Aqa, Ali Maula, Ali Taskeen Payghambar, Ali Kaaba, Ali Qibla, Ali Masjid, Ali Minbar. What do these shires say? They say Ali is Murshid, Ali Hadi, Ali Qaid, Ali Rahbar, Ali Shafi, Ali Kafi, Ali Zamzam, Ali Kausar, Ali Musa, Ali Isa, Ali Khizro, Ali Yahya, Ali Hakim, Ali Adil, Ali Jannat, Ali Tuba, Ali Ashraf, Ali Mawla, Imam Mushriq o Maghrib, Sharif Yasrib o Batha, Amine, Wahi Ilahi, Amine, Wahi Payghambar, Imam Masjid Aqsa. If you want me to make it simple for you, my Mawla Ali is Haidar Mawla. Simple for you, my Mawla Ali is Haidar Mawla. Because as I said before in the previous majlis, that only people that can understand Ali ibn Abi Talib is Prophet Muhammad and Allah. And only people that can understand Allah and Prophet Muhammad is Ali ibn Abi Talib. And they'll for sure try and make you stop reciting these fazals. They will for sure make you stop doing tabarra. And so I want to explain to you the 2 versions of tabarra. That let's say for some reason we are in a time of hardship and we for some reason have to silence ourselves, or we have to stop doing physical actions. What is the other type of tabarra that we can look towards? There are 2 types of tabarras. There is the verbal tabarra and there is a physical tabarra. We will first examine the verbal tabarra. The verbal tabarra of anybody in Shiaism, as I wrote down in my notes, we see that it is first of all stating that you do not support the enemies of Allah and the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt. There are many ways to support this. Number 1 way is to recite a speech and give your point of view onto the people about what you believe in tabarra and what you don't believe in tabarra. Number 2 version is to talk to the other sect of those people who disagree with you when you are talking about tabarra. Try and convince them, try and show them the right way, try and show them why tabarra is important. And then the 3rd version is that version that we all love, and that is sending lanat upon the enemies of the भी है बर आयशा लाना बर अबू बकर लाना बर हिंदा लाना बर अबू सुफियान लाना बर मुआविया लाना नारा हैदरी। I want to explain though that there's a huge misconception between tabarra and lanat, and that is also another reason why many of our brothers in the Shia sect have left tabarra altogether. Tabarra does not equal la'ana, but la'ana is equivalent to tabarra. It is a simple mathematical equation. Tabarra does not mean you are sending la'ana on somebody. It only means that you stay away from those who are the enemies of Allah and the Ahl al-Bayt. But sending la'ana on someone is to ask Allah to take His mercy away from the person you are sending la'ana on. And so we see that there are other people who accept tabarra, but they do not accept la'ana on the enemies of Ahl al-Bayt. And then I want to explain to them that la'ana is not cursing somebody. It is not cussing somebody with vile and disgusting words, because the Ahl al-Bayt are not the ones, and their true followers are not the ones who cuss out their enemies. They have honor and dignity. However, they are able to ask Allah to remove the mercy that He has cast upon the enemies of the Ahl al-Bayt. That is the difference between tabarra and la'ana. Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we only send la'ana upon the enemies of the Ahl al-Bayt. Us as Shias, Shia Nashri, Shia Jafari, we only send la'ana upon the enemies of the Ahl al-Bayt. But what exactly constitutes as an enemy of the Ahl al-Bayt? The enemy of the Ahl al-Bayt, what does it mean? It means that when you are verbally or even in your heart against the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib, that is exactly what it means to be the enemy of the Ahl al-Bayt. And many people will ask you proof, so I will give you a proof. And we just have to look at the day of Ghadir, and I will relate to you the story of the day of Ghadir. By Muhammad wa ali Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On the day of Ghadir, there were two ayats that were revealed. The first ayat was the ayat that claimed that Imam Ali, that made sure that it was a fact that Imam Ali was the Imam after Rasulullah, the Khalifa after Rasulullah, and the Wali of Rasulullah and Allah Himself. That was the first ayat before the speech of Ghadir. What exactly occurred after the speech of Ghadir? When Prophet Muhammad had stated already that Man kuntu mawla fahada aliyun mawla, that whoever's master I am, Ali is the master. And they came down from the mountains of the camels' backs, and they came down and they started to meet everybody and shake their hands. One person, I will name him, his name, la'na upon him, Harith bin Numan. Harith bin Numan then came to Rasulullah and he said that, "O Rasulullah, is this commandment of Ali ibn Abi Talib being the Khalifa after you, is this commandment from Allah or from you?" This question in itself shows that even though there were people in the Muslim tribe and they were wearing their Haji outfit and they just went and did Hajj and they came back, they ran between Safa and Marwa and came back, they did the Tawaf of Hajj al-Kawthar and came back, they did the Tawaf of the Black Stone and came back, they went and prayed at the Kaaba and came back. They may act like Muslims, they may look like Muslims, but to not believe that every single word of Rasulullah is given by Allah Himself shows that you were never Muslim in the first place. So what else is it proof? It means that if there's one bad apple within a basket, there could be more bad apples as well. So it is not impossible to think that there may be more people who doubt the claim of Rasulullah. So back to the story. Rasulullah goes to Harith bin Numan. He says that, "Oh Harith, this is a commandment by Allah, the one and only God, that this is a commandment from Allah, that this is a commandment that I was told to give to the people by Allah." Harith bin Numan, he then turns around. He has a very ugly look on his face. He says in private, he says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allah had actually revealed a verse after he had delivered this story. He says, Sa'ala sa'ilum bi'adhabinu waqi la kafirina laysa ludafi minallahi dhil ma'araj. What does this say? It says a challenger has demanded a punishment to come from Allah to the disbelievers from Allah, the Lord of the ascending staircases. The Lord of the ascending staircases, Allah refers to the ascending staircases as the Mihraj, but that is a different point. Allah says that a challenger has come and asked for a direct punishment from Allah. And so what do we see? Harith bin Numan, when he hears from Rasulullah that Allah had commanded Imam Ali to be Khalifa, he turns around, he says, "Oh Allah, if this is true, and Ali is Khalifa after Muhammad, then send a rock upon me." Right away, he did not finish this sentence. A rock came, killed him, and he died right then and there. So this shows, what does it show? First of all, it shows that those who are deserving of la'na are those who do not believe in the wilayat of Imam Ali and try to rob it away. Because Harith bin Numan had come with the intention of robbing away the wilayat of Imam Ali. And because he had asked for a punishment right away, Allah had delivered a punishment right away. I tell you right now, if 3 other people had asked for a punishment right away, they would have been punished as well. Punished as well. Why is this? Why do we see this only with Imam Ali? Because when we look back in history, we see that when we look at the story of Prophet Ibrahim, we see that he is in the catapult of Namrud, already ready to be thrown in the fire. The tribe of Ibrahim is there. They're looking at him and they start saying that we doubt your Khalifa upon this earth. We doubt your Khilafat, your Wilayat upon this earth. There is no way that Allah would treat his Khalifa on this earth like the way he is treating you. And then Allah does not wait for these people to finish their sentences and save Ibrahim. He waits for Ibrahim to first pray to Allah and then save Ibrahim. When we look at the story of Musa, we see that Hazrat Musa was on the Red Sea. He was surrounded by Pharaoh's troops, and behind Hazrat Musa and in the middle of Pharaoh's troop was the tribe of Israel. And what did they say? They say that we do not believe that you are a Khalifa upon this earth. There is no way that Allah would treat his Khalifa on earth if it was you. And then Prophet Musa had to then ask Allah for help before Allah had helped him, so that he could take away the doubt from his own tribe. When we look at Prophet Zakaria, we see that Prophet Zakaria did not have a child until a very old age, and every single year he did not have a child. His people would say, "We do not believe you are a Khalifa upon this earth. There is no way that Allah would treat his Khalifa like this at this very moment." And so Prophet Zakaria had to first go to Allah, pray to him and ask him that, "Oh Allah, please grant me a child so that I may convince everybody else that I am the wali upon this earth." Then Imam Ali have to ask, even for 1 second, that, "Oh Allah, convince Harith bin Numan that I am the wali upon this earth." Allah has no patience for the enemies of Ali ibn Abi Talib. As soon as you have hatred for Ali ibn Abi Talib, Allah's punishment and his la'na is upon you. Because what is punishment except for the removal of his mercy from you? So why is it wrong for us to send la'na upon somebody when we have clear proof from the Quran and from the relation of Imam Jafar Sadiq that this is exactly what happened on Eid al-Ghadir? But Muhammad wa ali Muhammad sallallahu Muhammad So we have viewed the first way of doing tabarruk, which is the verbal way of doing tabarruk, the way that we all love and the way that we all practice. There is a second way to do tabarruk as well, which is the physical way of doing tabarruk. And this topic is very sensitive, which is why I've written out this speech, this majlis, into my notes. I will read a little bit from my notes. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm breaking eye contact with you. But Muhammad wa ali Muhammad sallallahu
अक्ल को जो चाक नहीं कर सकता वो कभी नूर का इदराक नहीं कर सकता। ओ बुग़्ज़े हैदर की नजासत है, नजासत ऐसी आबे ज़मज़म भी जिसे पार नहीं कर सकता।
There were 365 days in a year. So basic math, basic knowledge that everybody learns in kindergarten. 365 days in a year. Of those days, 60 days are completely dedicated to Imam Hussein ibn Ali and his family. We have the first 10 days of Muharram, the rest of the month of Muharram, and then we have Arba'in, which falls into Safar. Those are the total 60 days that we have completely dedicated every single year to Imam Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. And the reason why we look forward to these 60 days out of the 365 days in the whole entire year is because in these 60 days, all the Shias of Ali ibn Abi Talib and the followers of Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib achieve Mi'raj. In these 60 days, their souls feel as if they are sitting in the heavens and listening to the Fazail of Ali ibn Abi Talib and the rest of the 14 Masumeen. Which is why every year we look forward to these 60 days. And in these 60 days, because of the fact that we want to achieve Mi'raj, because of the fact that we want to cry in Masayib, we try our best to purify ourselves the most we can. We try our best to purify our souls the most we can. And to do this, some people that don't read namaz in the 365 days, read namaz in the 60 days. Because first of all, they see that Imam Hussein's last act in Karbala was reading namaz. Some people read Quran in the 60 days because they know that Imam Hussein's head read Quran on the Neza. Some people sleep on the floor because they know Imam Hussein's last resting place was the floor. This is the connection that we have to Imam Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. And this connection lets us fly into heaven. This connection lets us achieve the level of Mi'raj that we want to achieve, that we can use to connect with the 14 Masumeen. However, I want to say this to my brothers, to my sisters, to my children. Oh brothers of Ali, oh brothers of Ali, oh brothers of Hussein, oh brothers of Abbas, oh people who love Ali, who love Hussein, who love Abbas. Understand that we cannot make these 60 days a ritual for us. We must take these values that we learn within the 60 days and apply it throughout the whole entire year. Because by doing this action of taking these values and applying it to the whole year, you are also doing a physical form of tabarrah. Because our jihad is not that of sticks and stones. Our jihad is not that of riding horses and shooting arrows. Our jihad is showing the Yazidiyat of our time that the message of Hussein still lives on. And the only way we can let the message of Hussein live on is by giving loyalty to Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. The only way you can give loyalty to Hussein ibn Abi Talib is by completely, 110% completely dedicating yourself to the message of Hussein and Ali ibn Abi Talib. These are the words that are given to us by many Maulanas. They come every year and they tell us that we should take these values and apply it into our lives. And sometimes it is hard for us. Sometimes we are not able to take all these values and apply it to our daily life, which is why I find that it is easy what the value of Shiaism in our religion really is. The number one, as I stated before, we are the dua of Bibi Fatima Zahra, and we are also the answer to Hal min Nasir Yansurna. You can only be the answer to Hal min Nasir Yansurna when you follow the values of the person who said Hal min Nasir Yansurna. When we look at Karbala, we see two sides. We see Haqq and Batil. We see Imam Hussein's side and we see Yazid's side. There are many decisions in our life where there is it's not always black and white. It's not always right or wrong. There is a middle factor, a gray area, which a lot of us operate within. There is a lot of us who say that this is the right decision, this is the wrong decision. However, this gray area over here will not affect me too negatively or too positively. This is the safe way to go. This is the way that I will go. But when it comes to Hussein and Yazid, there is no gray area within Hussein and Yazid. You either make a choice that you stand with Hussein or you stand with Yazid. And if you want to stand with Hussein, there are the values of tabarra that you need to instill within you so that you can instill all the other values of the furu'id. You want to instill tabarra. If you don't have tabarra, then you won't know if you read your namaz with arms folded or arms open. If you don't have tabarra, you won't know if you open your roza before Maghrib or after Maghrib. If you don't have tabarra, you won't know if you need to join the army of the camel or the army of the Sher Khuda. That is the value of tabarra. the value of tabarra is that it is like a zulfiqar given to us as a gift from Imam Ali. The same way Imam Ali slices his enemies in half, we slice our decisions in half. We know this is the right decision and this is the wrong decision. We know that what path we take will lead us to Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad sallallahu. Another thing that I want to point out, the reason why we must practice tabarra verbally and physically is because when we practice tabarra physically, we are able to be recognized as the bannerman of Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. Because when we practice tabarra and we practice Shiaism to its perfect point, then everybody can look at us and say that he is a Shia. Even the Sunnis now keep a mustache with a beard. There is no way to differentiate ourselves between a Sunni and a Shia. However, the actions of a Shia, when he prays with Khaqi Shifa, when he prays with his arms open, when he says Ya Ali when he gets up, when he says Haidar Haidar in the Majlis, that is what makes a Shia. And that's when you know that yes, this is a bannerman of Shia. He is the one who represents the Islam of Hussein, the Islam of Ali, and so in turn represents the Islam of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the love in our heart, the love in our heart is what we count as tawalla, because we have tawalla towards the Ahlul Bayt. But our actions is what determines tabarra. Our actions is what say that yes, this is the right action or this is the wrong action. And every time, I swear to you, every time you make the right action, you make the right choice. Every time you decide that I will not listen to music from this year, I will not go ahead, I will not visit places I should not be visiting, I will not look at those I should not be looking at. Every time you make this decision, you spit on the face of Shaitan. And when you spit on the face of Shaitan, you also spit upon his dog who is Yazid. Every time you make the right decision, you spit upon the face of Yazid and Shaitan. Every time. And yes, it is hard to make these decisions sometimes. For a lot of time, it is very hard for us to make the right decision, because sometimes the right decision can cause us harm. It could cause us harm, but we must realize that this is temporary harm, that this harm will not matter. This harm will not matter. It might cause you to feel sad for some time, to not listen to music. It might cause you to feel sad for some time, to not go to those places you're not supposed to go. It might cause you to feel sad for some time, to not look at those you're not supposed to look to. But wallahi, I swear, my brothers and sisters, I swear by Allah, who was the reciter of Surah Rahman, that I swear that because of these decisions, Imam Mahdi himself will come to you and he will take you with open arms and he will say that you represented my religion as the bannerman of Islam without a banner. Here is your banner now. Represent my army. Right now is because sadly we are towards the end of our Ashra. We are towards the end of Muharram. For one whole year we have to wait again to hear the Musibat of Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. For one whole year it brings us so much joy just to cry for Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. But the reason why I'm stressing this now is because if you want to cry on the very first day of Ashur and not train yourself to cry until the 10th day of Ashur, then you must implement the Shia practices that Imam Hussein had taught us from now, so that you'll be able to cry for Imam Hussein on the very first day of Ashur. Because everybody knows that it takes a pure soul to cry for Imam Hussein. It takes a very pure soul to cry for Imam Hussein. And it also takes a pure soul for us to accept that Imam Mahdi is out there and he is waiting for us. This is a very common misconception that we have, that Imam Mahdi is waiting, that we are the ones who are waiting upon Imam Mahdi. We are not waiting for Imam Mahdi. Imam Mahdi was born 1100 years ago. And every single year since his birth, he has been waiting on us. He is waiting for us. We are not waiting for him. He is waiting for us to be ready. He is waiting for us to make ourselves strong, not physically strong. You can go to the gym all you want. I can go to the gym all I want. But what is the strength that Imam Mahdi is looking for? strength to see Dajjal in front of you and say that is not the true path. The strength to see Shaitan in front of you and say that is not my path. But the strength to see Imam Ali in front of you, whether it be in death or not, and say that is my Mawla, that is my Aqah, that is my true path. And this strength will transfer into your grave, that when the three angels come and they say that who is your Aqah, who is your Mawla, who is your Aqah, who is your Mawla, you will only say Ali, Ali, Ali. As I stated, Imam Mahdi was born 1100 years ago. I want you to imagine that for 1100 years, you've only had a handful of interactions with your friends. Because in reality, we are at the most basic, the friends of the Imam. We are the Shias of the Imam, we are the most basic friends of the Imam. And so Imam Mahdi for 1100 years only has had a handful of interactions with some people. There are not many stories that you can say or you can listen to where they say that I have met Imam Mahdi. And when those people say that I have met Imam Mahdi, it is not as if Imam Mahdi came and introduced himself. It is only that he came and helped a person and left. 1100 years of loneliness and solitary. 1100 years means 1100 Muharrams that came and went. And our master, my master, cried alone by himself for his grandfather and for his grandmother. 1100 years came and went. We have not even been alive for 100 years. Every year we have somebody next to us in Messiah. Every year we have somebody who I can look at, who we can look at, cry on their shoulder. Every year we have somebody who stops us from doing too much zanjeer. They say too much blood has been lost. Who stops my Imam from crying too much tears of blood? Every year, our Imam cries alone for his grandfather Hussein and his great-grandmother Bibi Fatima Zahra. We must ready ourselves so that we may accept the message of Islam and not leave our master all alone. I honestly didn't know which Masa'ib to read today. Recently, we just had the Masa'ib of Imam Hassan, so I was thinking that I would read the Masa'ib of Hazrat Qasim. But today, these coming days are the day that two people died at the same time. And that is none other than the mother of Hussein, Fatima Zahra, and the brother of Hussein, Musa. I know I've taken a lot of your time, but I need you to bear with me for Masa'ib. Tabarra in essence is not our happiness that we show, but our sadness. Because there are certain people in history who deserve tabarra for hurting our mother of believers. So when we say lanat upon this so-and-so person, it is not because we hate them for no other reason. It's not because we hate them for taking away the wilayat. You can take away the wilayat. Imam Ali is still wali. Imam Ali is still imam. But what gives you the right to take the door of Bibi Fatima and take it down? What gives you the right to bring a burning log and burn the door of Bibi Fatima Zahra? And this didn't happen all at once. These people had come to Imam Ali's house 4 times. They had come to his house 4 times. Each time Imam Ali would say, I am not going to come out and give bayah. I am compiling the Quran, leave my family alone. I am compiling the Quran, leave my family alone. Leave my family alone. I have a feeling that inside Imam Ali's heart, he knew that there will already be many musibats to come. And at least he can protect his children at this time. And he will ask his people to leave him alone. But these people did not leave him alone. The 4th time they came, and before they came, they had a meeting. They said, what should we do with Ali? And someone says, we should enter his house. Mind you, this is the house that Malakul Maut knocked upon so that it could take the soul of Rasulullah. We should enter his house. And then someone said that this is Fatima's house as well. The second one said, whether it be Fatima or not, we are entering this house. Whether it be Fatima or not, we are entering this house. And then the fourth of them came and brought a log and said, we can enter the house, I can beat it with this log. And the third one says, why not set fire to that log instead? There are some riwayats in Sunni hadith that say that, oh, they only brought this fire log so that they can threaten the house of Rasulullah and the house of Fatima. They weren't actually going to burn the house. I have to ask you, Chalo, we accept they only used it to threaten. What kind of person threatens the direct daughter of Rasulullah? That this is the one who was named mercy upon mankind, the one who accepted Islam and brought you out of Jahiliyyah. This is not a simple lady. This is the lady of the worlds, the one who will lead everyone into Jannah. You cannot enter into Jannah without her approval, and you want to bring fire to her house. And so they came with ropes and chains and a log upon fire and swords in their hands, and they called upon Ali in front of his house. They said, "Oh Ali, come outside." There was no answer from inside. They said again, "Oh Ali, if you do not come outside, we will set fire upon your house." A lady's voice came from inside. "Do you know whose house this is? This is the house of Ayat al-Tatheer. This is the house of the orphan, beggar, and prisoner. This is the house of Ali ibn Abi Talib and the daughter of Rasulullah. You want to bring fire and kick down the house of this person. You want to do this." And so the first of them said that, "Please come out. We do not want violence." The second of them said that if you do not come out, there will be violence. So what does Bibi Zahra say? Bibi Zahra says that, "By Allah, upon my honor, you will not enter this house while I am alive." The second of them said, "We will enter when you are dead." We will enter when you are dead. There was no response from within the house, and so the third of them came with a fire upon the log and burned down the house. As soon as this fire touches the door of Bibi Zahra hears the kicks upon this door, the knocks upon this door, the pounding upon this door. Bibi Zahra takes her niqab, she places it upon her head. She goes towards the door. She takes her two hands, the hands that don't work upon the fields, the hands that don't do any more work after taking Bibi Fizza, the hands that are Masoom, the hands that held Hussein, the hands that held Zainab, the hands that held Ali, the hands that held Hassan. She takes these hands, she places it upon the door of her house. She says, "By Allah, you do not know what you are doing. I will not let you enter this door." There is another kick. She says, "By Allah, you are not able to enter into this door. You are not able to get past this door." There is a third and final kick. The door of Bibi Zahra falls upon her. She is smushed between the door and the floor. There is a nail which enters the stomach of Bibi Zahra. The people of the Khilafah walk upon this very door that is on Bibi Zahra. The fire on this door burns the skin of Bibi Zahra. These people, they say, "Grab Ali, we will take him in a robe. We drag him upon the streets." There is only one saying from Imam Hassan, that Imam Hassan says, "When my mother fell down, she did not say, 'Ya Baba,' she did not say, 'Ya Ali,' she didn't say, 'Ya Hassan,' she said, 'Fissa.'"
हर रात है रोती।
कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
अब तो चेहरा भी नहीं देता दिखाई भैया, दिखाई भैया। कैसे बैठूं माया देरों में ही हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूम है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूम है जिंदा में
जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
अब तो चेहरा भी नहीं देता दिखाई भैया, दिखाई भैया। कैसे बैठूं माया देरों में ही हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूम है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
चैन आता ही नहीं उसको वो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूम है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
काश नन्ही सी उठाया बिद्दत चला लो तारुकू में, चला लो तारुकू में। हो गई शहर जिसे कहते थे हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूम है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
काश नन्ही सी उठाया चला लो तारुकू में, चला लो तारुकू में। हो गई शहर जिसे कहते थे हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूम है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
चैन आता ही नहीं उसको वो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूम है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
एक घंटे से वो लिपटी है तरसती है तड़पती, तरसती है तड़पती। याद असले की जो आए तो वो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूम है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती। कोई मासूमा है जिंदा में जो हर रात है रोती।
या हुसैन
या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन।
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए।
तेरे दरबारी मेरे गए को जगाने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए।
तेरे दरबारी मेरे गए को जलाने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए।
जल्द ही आके मिलूंगी मैं है तुझसे बाबा, तुम जाने हाँ मुझे जाने लगाने आए, बाबा बेटी
पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए।
जल्द ही आके मिलूंगी मैं है तुझसे बाबा, तुम जाने हाँ मुझे जाने लगाने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए।
तेरे दरबारी मेरे गए को जलाने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए।
बाबा मेरी तू दासी पे तड़प जाता था, तेरी उम्मत के फर्द मुझको रुलाने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए।
तेरी तहरीर को जुटला के सनद पाई गई, गवाहों को रस्ते से हटाने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे ज़माने आए।
तेरी तहरीर को जुटला के सनद पाई गई, गवाहों को रस्ते से हटाने
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे जमाने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे जमाने आए।
मेरे दरबारी मेरे गए को जलाने आए,
बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे जमाने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे जमाने आए।
आज तेरे क्या बताऊं मैं है बाबा साई, मैं क्या क्या तेरी बेटी पे ना जाने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे
जमाने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे जमाने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे जमाने आए, बाबा बेटी पे तेरी कैसे जमाने आए। या हुसैन 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 में रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा भरे दरबार में, 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 रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा भरे दरबार में। न जाने के तरह न जाने के तरह हक मांगती रही ज़हरा भरे दरबार में, रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा भरे दरबार में। न जाने के तरह न जाने के तरह हक मांगती रही ज़हरा भरे दरबार में, रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा भरे दरबार में, रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा भरे दरबार में, रोती रही खड़ी ज़हरा भरे दरबार दरबार में सनद के टुकड़े हवा में उड़ा के हंसने लगा रसूल ज़ादी से गुस्ताख ऐसे कहने लगा बताओ कौन सी जागीर है तेरी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी 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 ज़रा मेरे दरबार में हसन हुसैन से सच्चे गवाह भी झूठ लाए बुला के बीबी को जाने मारा न शहबाए बुला न पाएगी उम्मत की बेरुखी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में होती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में ये उसकी बेटी है जिसने दौलत चांद किया वो जिसके नूर ने हर रोशनी को मात किया जिसे सताना दुखियारी है बड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में ना जाने के तरह ना जाने के तरह हक मांगती रही ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में नबी के बाद ये क्या हो गया ज़माने को कलमा को चले मगर जलाने को सहेगी के सरा तू ये सितम गरी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा मेरे दरबार में रोती रही खड़ी ज़रा के कातिल ने है मारा बाबा जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा हर तमाचे पे सकीना ने हर तमाचे पे सकीना ने पुकारा बाबा जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा
संगवी संगवी चली मारी कलावे सज्जाद मुहारी रत रोवे आई शामिद विच जैनु शामे तक जो खून पिया बखदा गश कर गया पाक बीमार
हमारा बाबा मुझे बालों से पकड़ कर है तमाचे मारे, मुझे बालों से पकड़ कर है तमाचे मारे। मैंने सर से मुझसे मांगा जो तुम्हारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा 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 बाबा। मुझे बालों से पकड़ कर है तमाचे मारे, मुझे बालों से पकड़ कर है तमाचे मारे। मैंने सर से मुझसे मांगा जो तुम्हारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा 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 बाबा। वो जो दुनिया अपने तोहफे में मुझे बख्शे थे, वो जो दुनिया अपने तोहफे में मुझे बख्शे थे, उनको बेदर्दी से साले में उतारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा। हर तमाचे पे सकीना ने, हर तमाचे पे सकीना ने पुकारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा। लोके नेज़ा पे उसे देखूं तो देखूं कैसे, लोके नेज़ा पे उसे देखूं तो देखूं कैसे। तेरा असर था मुझे जहाँ से भी प्यारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा 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 बाबा। साथ रहवारों के दौड़ाया गया है मुझको, साथ रहवारों के दौड़ाया गया है मुझको। दूर जख्मों से बदन मेरा है सारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा बाबा, जब मुझे आपके कातिल ने है मारा। या हुसैन 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 मिलके जी
खालिक तेरा ममनून है,
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 खालिक तेरा ममनून है।
मुर्तज़ा और फातिमा की लोरी हुसैन हुसैन या 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 हुसैन
या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन
को कटा के दीन पे,
सर 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 को कटा के दीन पे,
जो करबला में कर दिया है छोड़ दे हुसैन हुसैन या 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 हुसैन या हुसैन
या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन
अकबर दिया सिर दिया,
अकबर दिया सिवर दिया,
अकबर दिया सिर दिया,
अकबर दिया सिवर दिया,
दिया सिर दिया,
अकबर दिया सिवर दिया,
कासिम दिया और दे दिया हुसैन हुसैन या 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 हुसैन
बेशुमार बेशुमार
जी मातमी अज़ादार
बेशुमार
अंकल ज़्यादा करा दी
सलाम अलैकुम या अब्दुल्लाह, सलाम अलैकुम या इब्न रसूलुल्लाह, सलाम अलैकुम या इब्न अमीरुल मोमिनीन व सय्यिदुल वकील, सलाम अलैकुम या फातिमा ज़हरा सय्यिदुल निसाइल आलमीन, सलाम अलैकुम